Hello students, today we will going to start our 14th chapter, that is the chemical effects of electric current. So under this topic, that what is the meaning of chemical effects of electric current, means when we are passing the electric current through the different substances, or for example we are passing the electric current through the liquids or solutions. At that time their chemical composition will going to change. So this is the chemical effect of electric current. And sometimes there is the application that when we are depositing a layer of one metal on the surface of another metal with the process of the electroplating, that is also the example of chemical effect of electric current. Clear? So let's start. Your elders might have cautioned you against touching an electrical appliances with wet hands. But do you know why it is dangerous to touch an electrical appliance with wet hands? Most often in our homes also we are advised that we don't have to touch any electrical switch or appliance with the wet hands. Why it is like so? Because water is the good conductor of the electricity and it will going to conduct the current, and if with wet handed we are going to touch an electrical appliances, then we will going to get shock. Clear? So that's why it is dangerous to touch an electrical appliance with wet hands. So we have learnt earlier that materials which allow the electric current to pass through them are good conductors of electricity. On the other hand, materials which do not allow the electric current to pass through them easily are poor conductors of electricity. So in good conductors we can take the example of water, and in poor conductors we can take the example of rubber and also distilled water. Distilled water is the water from which all the salts are removed, distilled off. There is no salt and no conduction of current at that time. Clear? So in your previous class you made a tester to test whether a particular material allows the electric current to pass through it or not. Do you recall how the tester helped us in deciding that? See, this type of the tester that you are using the cell, one terminal of the cell is connected with the bulb, and then the second connection is made with the another metallic piece. Here they have taken the screw gauze. So this type of the tester you have to use, means you have to totally complete the circuit. Clear? And after that, if on completing the circuit bulb will going to glow, what does it indicate? It will indicates you that the material that you have used in the circuit is the good conductor, and if bulb does not glow, it means the material that you have taken to pass the current through it will not going to conduct it. Clear? So do you recall how the tester helped us in deciding that? We find that metals such as copper and aluminium conduct electricity, whereas materials such as rubber, plastic and wood do not conduct electricity. See here, in first case there is the glow in the bulb because this is the metal, and metals are very good conductors of electricity. And here when we are connecting it with the plastic handle, then there is the no conduction of the current and bulb does not glow. So however, so far we have used our tester to test materials which were in solid state, but what about liquids? Do liquids also conduct electricity? Let us find out. In this chapter specifically we have to focus on the liquid or solutions. So Paheli and Bujo want to remind you that one should not experiment with electric supply from the mains or a generator or inverter. Use only electric cells for all the activities suggested here because it is much safer. Next, topic 14.1. Do liquids conduct electricity? To test whether a liquid allows electric current to pass through it or not, we can use the same tester which we made in your previous class. However, replace the cell by a battery. Also, before using the tester, we should check whether it is working or not. So how you can check that it is working or not? Let's read the activity 14.1. Join the free ends of the tester together for a moment. This completes the circuit of the tester and bulb should glow. However, if the bulb does not glow, it means that the tester is not working. Can you think of the possible reasons? Is it possible that the connections are loose, or the bulb is fused, or your cells are used up? Check that all the connections are tight. If they are, then replace the bulb with another bulb. Now test if the tester is working or not. If it is still not working, then replace the cells with the fresh cells. So what is indications if your circuit is not working properly, or your bulb is not glowing? Then what are the possible reasons? First will be, maybe your circuit is loose, these wires are not properly connected, and second, maybe bulb already fused, and third is the maybe the cell you are using is totally used up, so you have to replace your cell. Clear? Now that our tester is working, let us use it to test the various liquids. First, if you have checked the proper working of the tester, then you can use it for checking the conduction of the another liquids. Next, activity 14.2. Collect a few small plastic or rubber caps of discarded bottles and clean them. Pour 1 teaspoon of lemon juice or vinegar in one cap. Bring your tester over this cap and let the ends of the tester dip into the lemon juice or vinegar. Take care that the ends are not more than 1 centimeter apart, but at the same time, do not touch each other. Does the bulb of the tester glow? See here, you can use small container or beaker, and you have to connect it with the battery or terminals. Both the positive and negative terminals should be touched to the solution in this container. Clear? So does the lemon juice or vinegar conduct electricity? How would you classify lemon juice or vinegar, a good conductor or a poor conductor? So firstly, the thing here that in case of liquids, we are not using the cells. For solid substances, for checking their conductions, we are using simply cells like this. Clear? For charge transference. But in case of liquids, we are using the battery. Clear? Negative and positive terminals of this battery are connected with the bulbs and passing through the liquid and completing the circuit. And now, if the bulb will glow, then what will be the indication that this is the good conductor of electricity? And if the bulb does not glow, it means it does not going to conduct electricity. But in case of lemon juice, it will going to conduct electricity. Clear? What does it indicate? That lemon juice is a good conductor of electricity. Clear? So when the liquid between the two ends of the tester allows the electric current to pass, the circuit of the tester becomes complete and the current flows in the circuit and bulb glows. When the liquid does not allow the electric current to pass, the circuit of the tester is not complete and the bulb does not glow. In some situations, even though the bulb is conducting, the bulb may not glow. It may have happened in case of 14.2 activity, that if I am taking here any other liquid, in case of lemon juice there is the conduction, but sometimes it is also possible that there is no conduction in this type of the arrangements. Do you remember why the bulb glows when the electric current passes through it? Due to the heating effect of the current, the filament of the bulb gets heated to a high temperature and it starts glowing. For example, in case of lemon juice, when current passing through this solution, then it is able to produce a heating effect more stronger, that this, with the help of this heating effect, that bulb will going to glow with the high temperature. Clear? But if the solution we are taking here is weaker or poor conductor of electricity, or it will going to produce weak current, then the filament does not get the enough heat. Clear? So if heating effect is not produced properly, then it does not glow. So why is the current in the circuit weak? Well, though a material may conduct electricity, it may not conduct it as easily as a metal. As a result, the circuit of the tester may be complete and yet the current through it may be too weak to make the bulb glow. Can we make another tester which can detect a weak current? We can use another tester in which we are taking LED in place of the bulb. So LED can glow even at a very small current. So it's better for us, we can take LED in those type of the testers in which we are using the solutions which are very poor conductors or are not able to produce the electric current properly. Clear? So you may use an LED in a place of electric bulb in the testers. LED glows even when a weak electric current flows through it. There are two wires attached to an LED. One lead is slightly longer than the other. Remember that while connecting to a circuit, the longer lead is always connected to the positive terminal of the battery and the shorter lead is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. Clear? So longer one we will going to connect with the positive terminal and this shorter one we will going to connect with this negative terminal. If we are using LED in place of bulb, and in which case we can use it where the solutions are not conducting the current properly, so there we can use LED. Clear? So we can use another effect of an electric current to make the another kind of the tester. Do you recall that electric current produces a magnetic effect? So what happens to a compass needle kept nearby when current flows in a wire? Even if the current is small, the deflection of the magnetic needle can be seen. This is because of the effect of the magnetic current or electric current. There is the magnetic effect. So here you can see that there is the coiling of the wire. When we are switching off the circuit, then when we are switching on the circuit, we can see that there is the deflection in the magnetic needle in this case. Clear? So this deflection because of the passage of the electric current will going to cause magnetic effect. This wire is going to produce magnetic effect, and because of the magnetic effect there is the deflection in this wire. Clear?